haven't made a video in quite a while, and I've had a few people comment wondering where I've been, and I'm gonna try to come up with an update on this. It's just I'm so fed up with stuff, I just haven't been able to do anything without getting in a rage. I try not to make negative or angry videos, and that's where they always seem to end up going. Well, I'll try to get an update with that, put together with this, but right now all I'm doing is getting some hay for the heifer barn. And I shouldn't even have to do this. I barely got any of the hay I did make. Well, I got all the good hay out of the fields. I got hay that I could feed I haven't got out yet. I haven't got much of my bedding hay out of the fields yet. So this all should be up under tarps by now or under cover, but bitch, damn grapevines. But this field probably didn't make much difference. This is the second crop that I did here about a month ago. I don't even remember I posted any of that. And I had a feeling I probably shouldn't put it under cover. I've fed a few bales of this already, and it's still warm inside. Some of it's got some moldy spots. I knew it was going to keep if I put it under cover. So that's what I'm trying to do now here, is just feed us out. But we got to deal with this crap here right now. We've been under a lake effect snow advisory from 7 o'clock Wednesday night. I'm going to go get the furthest bale I got here right now. Till 10 o'clock tonight. And I don't think we're done getting snow here yet, but we haven't got much at all since daylight. When I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, I looked out the window. There was maybe an inch on the truck. And by the time I left the house around 7 o'clock this morning, we had this. So what snow we've gotten in probably about 3 to 4 hours this morning. We've really got nothing else since. And that's a good thing. Let me get this bale of spirit. I gotta have both hands. I have to watch how I do this. I want spirit off to the side, so when I pick it up, it'll roll and dump the snow off. That's the problem with these second crop bales. They're stickier inside or something, that they're more knotted together, and that spear doesn't penetrate quite like it should. So it falls back on the base, but well, what can you do? But I guess I shouldn't complain too much about the snow though, because it could be worse. We could be Buffalo. And like I say, this is the problem being in the snow belt of Pennsylvania. We're right in the heart of it. You know, we're just south of 90. And but the way the weather forecast sounded, I think it was supposed to stay the way the winds. It all depends how the winds come across the lake. If they come down more from the north, we get hit. If they come more from the west, then it stays up along 90 and more towards the lake shore. And I think that's more the way they're coming, because you get up towards Buffalo. I've seen something here now where they're supposed to see up to 6 feet in spots. I saw yesterday 4 feet. They're saying 3 to 4 inches an hour at times. So they can have that. I mean, I ain't upset. Well, the last forecast I actually saw, tomorrow and next days are supposed to be fairly decent. A lot of this is going to melt. By the first of the week, we're supposed to be in the upper to mid 30s to low 40s. So a lot of this will go. Maybe I can get some hay hauled out of the fields here yet. But like I say, for the last 2 weeks here, I'm going to try to put something together and put on the end of this. Talk more about it. That's the thing. I just don't know how much I should say, what I should say, you know, how detailed. But it just every day there's something that happens. Like I say, when you don't think things could get worse. I mean, right now I don't know how they can actually get worse other than I get shut off, which I am on the verge of being again, which I don't buy their bullshit either. But like I say, I start thinking about it or talking about it and I just get so pissed off and it doesn't come out good the way I say it, so. But I'm going to get this bale of hay up to the barn and go get my feed mixed. I didn't plug my skid steer in. I got it inside. It should be warm enough, it'll start. But go get my feed mixed while it's daylight out, so I don't have to piss around in all the snow. I'll have to dig out the bags to do that. So we'll see what goes on from here. I mean, I got all them bales out there yet. That's all bedding hay. But that's a field I don't know when or if I can get in. Most of that upper side hill I won't take the tractor on. So, but I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, it's starting to snow a little bit again here now, but I'm going to try to make, again, like I said, I've tried this several times and I get all worked up and pissed off about it, but several things have gone over here for the last, it's been 2 weeks probably, I think, roughly. Like I say, just about every day there's something wrong, or goes wrong. And like I say, you don't think things can get worse, and they just continually do. But like I say, I had the pulsation controls not working right on this pipeline again. I thought for a while something's been wrong with this pipeline altogether, but like I say, can't get nobody to show up or to check things out. Or when they do, they say there's nothing wrong. But I swear there's something not right with it. And like I said, it ticks me off that I put that new circuit board on back in August. The guy was supposed to come back and do some other work, never did. And I know there's no sense calling him about that circuit board because it's electronic. They're not going to warranty it. And I just monkeyed around here a little bit more. Like I said, I just don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the vacuum to hold the milkers on like it should. It doesn't seem like it pulses like it should. I mean, it's only pulsing on one side anyhow, but I mean, it doesn't seem to squeeze like it should be. It's only like a faint thing, you know. It should be more of a crisper. I'm going to get another circuit board here maybe and see what that does. But that was one thing. And then there's days when I come in here, like one day I came in here, I got dry cows separated down this end. And one of the dumb bastards jumped the gate, smashed that gate up. I mean, they bent it all to hell already off the hinges, just tied there with twine, but they bent it up more. Cows got mixed up. Every time you turn around, somebody's fighting. You go up the heifer barn and there's a broken stanchion. I mean, it's a stanchion you fix with baler twine. You used to be able to tie them up with twine and they'd be good for several weeks, but you could go up there, fix it today with twine, 2 days later it'd be broke again with twine. I mean, you can't get parts for some of this stuff anymore. And I'm not a fabricator or welder that well to actually make the parts or fix it up enough that way. So things get fixed the way they get fixed, but every time you go up there's a cow loose in this barn, that barn, the other barn. Cows don't want to cooperate. You watch these other channels and they go out there, chase the cows to get them up, and they get up, they mosey up. Mine, you got to walk every frickin' step, every one of them. They don't want to move, they're lethargic. You know, like, I mean, like I just don't know how to explain it. Like I say, this, like everybody else, look at me like I'm an idiot. You don't think production can get any worse than what it is? It's sure the hell worse than what it is. I mean, right now I'm to the point that I don't even know what bills I'm going to pay next month. There is not going to be enough to pay a single bill next month. I mean, that's how bad they are milking. And I mean, I've had to make some decisions here lately, and I'm not really going to go into them because somebody will tell me it's not the right one. You got to do something different. But what can you do? And you can't afford this, you can't afford that. You cut back on this, try to save some money, and it makes it worse, really. You know, like you're just going in a circle. You know, I've had comments made to me. You know, there was one comment. I don't I don't want to say they were trolling me or being pissy about it or whatever. But I'm sick of everybody saying, well, it's time to get out. It's time to sell the cows. 3 years ago when I went to talk to a bankruptcy lawyer, that's all he would say. You got to sell everything first before you could file bankruptcy. Well, I guess he didn't know much because there's other bankruptcies I could file, which I did. But, of course, I can't save nothing, you know. I gotta acknowledge the whole damn thing. I gotta pay back the whole debt. There's nothing I can get dismissed. You know, I'm getting tired of hearing that. Just sell out. Time to get out. Time to do something different. Get a job somewhere else. It's easier. What's easier out there? I mean, nobody wants to hire, and if they, or I mean, they're hiring, but when they do, they don't want to give you hours or anything. You know, you see them people. I'm sure everybody's seen that one working at Starbucks, I think it was. And they were all upset because they had to work an 8-hour shift. I mean, I have no problem working, but why the hell should I work for somebody else? I mean, George Carlin, I don't know if anybody was ever saying, I'm going to try to pin a link here. He had it right back in the 90s and stuff, where they're just consolidating everything down, whether it's Walmart, Cargill, Smithfield. They're just putting everybody out of business, consolidating it down for 3 or 4 choices. And then they give you the illusion that you got choices because you got a choice of 23 bagels. That's the way George has explained it. Which is true. Like right now, there is no other choice other than DFA around here, really. You used to have Dean's, Dairy Lee, DFA, Grade B, NFO, Bear Lake. I mean, there were several choices. Now it's Grade B or DFA. Now I guess there is another one moving in here from down around Pittsburgh, Marburgers. But they're not going to take my milk. They want the dairy of distinction, you know. That's another comment I had. Should clean the place up. How's that going to make me more money? I spend all this extra time cleaning up. It ain't going to make me any more money. It ain't going to get me into Marburgers either. They want the dairy distinctions and stuff. So like I say, just keep going in circles. Another thing I had said to me, and I always hate this when I come up with a response a week or so later, and it's actually somebody close to me says it to my face, that I'm a piss poor businessman. I've always been a piss poor businessman. Now I missed my chance of saying, well, that's would mean something if it wasn't coming from somebody that supports Biden. He thinks Biden's a good president. Yeah, well, I don't know if he thinks Biden's a good president. He hates Trump, just put it that way. But he voted for Biden. So if he thinks Biden is the answer, well, then something's wrong with him. But let's just say he had a stroke quite a few years ago, and I think it affected him like Estelle Getty on Golden Girls. I think it screwed up something in his mind. He has no perception of what he's saying sometimes, but hard to say. But like I say, it's just stuff like that. This snide marks, this pisses me off. I mean, I've done some stuff here in the last week I probably shouldn't have been doing, but it really doesn't make any difference if I do stay in it because I have. Well, probably can't see it from here. Well, you can barely see the one silo bag over there. I have one bag and probably, maybe not quite half of another bag. That might feed me until February. Cows ain't getting enough as it is. That's one reason why they're not milking it good. They should be getting more feed than what they are. Trying to figure out how I can regulate that out and maybe hopefully get through here and get some feed later on or towards spring easier. But where the hell am I going to get the money to pay for it? And like I said, right now I am sending less. Now Grade B, they pick up every 4 days. I'm sending less milk in 4 days than I used to send in one milking. And then with the cost of everything else going up, it's just getting damn near impossible to do it. I mean, if I got maybe 100 gallons of diesel fuel left. I don't know if that's actually true when they keep saying we're going to run out in 25 days. I mean, I think we're going to have shortages and we're going to get close. I don't think it's actually going to run out, but it's going to drive the price up here now that the elections are over. And so I don't know what I'm going to do about diesel fuel. That's one reason I didn't put up any more feed than what I did, because I don't know what I'm going to do for diesel fuel when I run out. And if I'm going to try to keep the cows, I got to have some way to clean the barns and stuff. I mean, yeah, I probably should have listened to other people like the Sudan grass there. I should have taken it off when it was 3 foot tall. Yeah, I probably should have. I would have had at least half that off the fields instead of losing it all. But my thing was, well, am I going to get a good enough cutting to do a second cutting? Which, as it turned out, if we had the weather like everybody else around us, you get over in Ohio, you watch some of them channels, you watch southern Pennsylvania, some of them channels, they went through everything like it was nothing. But we got 6 to 8 inches of rain here, and it just soaked everything up, and you could not get on that ground. And that's one thing with Sudan grass, it actually seems to make the ground more mellow, the way the roots are or something, because I've noticed that before when I've had it, and I plowed it up, and it plowed up real beautiful. I mean, it changes the structure of the soil there somewhat. But like I say, in the end, it ended up, I got none of it. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. And then the one thing that's really set me off here lately is I got a phone call, and that'll be about 2 weeks ago today. I think roughly 2. That's the main thing that really set me off. Got a phone call from the milk inspector. My one count is up. I'm not going to go into specific numbers on it. It's been up. It's been high. But what ticked me off is he tells me that the sample, now like I said, they remember this, they take samples pick up the milk every 4 days. He tells me that on the 25th or 26th, the sample that they pulled, they tested at the plant, was 270. It's got to be under 450. Now, you guys are milking out there, you might know what count I'm talking about. Now with grade B, you got to be at least under 600. I think for the violation is actually 750, but they want it under 450, but it don't say much as long as you're under 600. And that count was down to 270. The next one they pulled, and it was tested at the lab, was over 900. And I just blew up on them. I told them a thing or two, and I hung up on them. Because I've had these other violations with the bacteria count, that's still high too, from the last sample I saw. I don't know if it was one they pulled before or after I did the thermostat or not, but anyway, I've had so many of them violations, I'm on the verge of being shut off. I got to have good counts or else I'm going to be shut off. But they won't help you figure it out. They don't give you any guidance. Like I told them, I've been doing this for over 30-some effing years. And all of a sudden, I'm such a goddamn idiot, I can't do a thing right. There's nothing I do that makes a positive impact. Everything keeps going backwards. And like I say, after 30-some years, I know what to do. But what I do doesn't make a bit of difference. There is some other factor here. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist that they're just trying to force me out, but that's basically what it is. They don't want the small farms anymore. And someday I'm going to get in a video. I've been trying to do that video too. Some of my opinions on what's going on. That they just want control. And that's the way they're going to get control, is to eliminate the number of farms. But anyway, I got thinking, and after I hung up on them, I was milking cows that morning. And I got thinking, it's funny. How'd they get a sample on the 25th or 26th? My milk was picked up on the 23rd, the 27th, and the 31st. So that's why I texted him. I said, FYI, it's impossible to have a sample on the 25th or 26th because my milk was picked up on these days. Now, this test doesn't grow. So yeah, they could sample a 2 or 3 day old sample to get that number. But that's the thing. I don't see how my counts can jump around that much. I don't see how there could be that much difference. I'm pretty sure it's 2 different tests. How the test could be that much difference. I think the lab is really screwing things up or something. But I've never heard back from them on that either. So I'm pretty sure next time I hear from them, I'm going to be shut off. And then if I'm shut off from grade B, there's no place else to go. I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I'm to the point, what difference is it really going to make? So it's just, there is no relief in anything. I appreciate everybody's thoughts. Just tell me, stick with it, tough it out. But I've been doing this for 5 years, toughing it out, and I am completely strapped. Oh, and that was the other thing. I mentioned I got served papers. I'm being sued. per account that I'm behind on. And I screwed this up too. I don't think there's going to be any difference anyhow. Whether it would make a difference. That I thought I had to the 14th to respond whether I was going to contest it. But no, the date was the 14th for the trial. And I looked at it Monday in the afternoon there. But I'm pretty sure it was going to be that I was going to lose that anyhow. So I got default judgment against me now. So I don't know. I mean, it's only about $4,000. I don't think there's anything they can do to sheriff me out. I don't know if they can garnish my checking account or whatever. But, like I said, I don't know if it would make any difference because I was doing business with them back there last year. And it was right after I filed the bankruptcy. I got behind on that bill. And I went there that day. I was going to pay on the bill so I could get more stuff. And I went in his office to talk to him because he put a hold on my account. And I told him what the deal was. And this is one point where I was going to contest this. I told him I had just filed bankruptcy. And he knew because it gets posted in the paper. So if he knew I filed bankruptcy, why did he extend me more credit? That's the first thing why I would contest this. Second thing was that I never signed a credit agreement with him. So there's nothing, not saying that I don't owe the money, but for him to come and demand full payment now, I think is an issue. Because the only thing he has in writing of anything is at the bottom of the statement, it says all accounts past 30 days is subject to an 18% finance charge. So that's my theory. The only thing he can, be going by. And then the third thing was, I talked to him back here in June. Because, I eventually got behind again. He shut me off. And I've been sending payments to him. Been sending a couple $100 a month. Well, I missed a month. And then calling me or whatever, I talked to him. And his whole thing was, well, how much can you pay a month? He wanted me, and I told him flat out, there's nothing I can do. I am at the end. There's nothing I can't guarantee him nothing. Well, he got all pissy and bitching back and forth and started trying to tell him that I had corn in the field to pick yet. And he hung up on me. Now, if he had been a real businessman, that he would have talked to me on that, I could have taken him the corn, been more than enough to pay him, and we would have been done in July. But no, he wanted to be a prick, so I never took him none of the corn because I didn't trust him at this point. If I did try to talk to him again, that he was going to be fair on the moisture or he's going to be fair on fines in it or something, he'll dock me for something. I didn't trust him to do any further business with him. So I just continued paying him so much a month. Well, once I got paid for that corn, I sent him a fairly decent check, bigger than I had been. And I got a statement there where he says, thank you very much, continue up, good job, all this horse crap. And I've been able to pay the next couple months, and then last month I didn't send him nothing. And then he sued me. So, whatever it is. But like I say, I don't think how he could, I think there would be an argument how he can expect payment when he knew I was in bankruptcy, how he could demand change in the terms of the agreement that is all accounts past 30 days is subject to an 8% finance charge. There's nothing saying about minimum payment or payment on demand. So what I would have gone around and around with that, but like I said, I screwed it up, didn't go, so I got judgment, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But all that could be alleviated if the dumbass lawyer would get off his ass and finish up my uncle's estate. And I've mentioned before, I got money coming from this estate. My uncle died a year and a half ago, and they still haven't finalized it. And there is nothing that should take this long. He had no property. The only thing he had in his name yet was his car. Now, he didn't even drive anymore. They only kept the car in his name because it's easier for my other uncle that's in a wheelchair to get in and out of that car when my brother would take him to doctor's appointments. So that's all he had was his car. And then he has stocks, bonds, whatever else he had, his bank accounts. So all that should have been taken care of, been finalized, and then wait until all the medical bills come in from when he was in the home there at the end. and the doctors, pay that off and divide up the estate. A year and a half later, my brother's the executor. They are basically just starting it here last month or so. There's things they said they were going to do, they never did. The biggest thing is they never stopped his pension. So that was the biggest thing that's pissing me off, because my uncle told me there's a life insurance policy with my name on it. Took it out when I was born. And it's going to be worth basically at least $10,000. Well, I get a packet from where he used to work. He used to work up the GE, whatever it's Wago or Waco, whatever the hell it is now, saying that it's worth more than the $10,000, but it has me and my 3 brothers on it as the beneficiaries, which I don't know how that came about. But they're not paying it out because the pension wasn't stopped until they get the money back from what they paid out in his pension from when he died. They're not going to release the insurance policy. Well, the insurance policy has nothing to do with his pension. That's all in the estate account or his checking account and being held by the estate. All they got to do is write the check back. But because the lawyer didn't stop the pension when they first went to him, and they kept going, and this was back in 3 or 4 months ago when we brought this up to the lawyer, and they still haven't stopped nothing. So if it was me, I would have switched lawyers or something at that time. But, so I don't know what's going on with that. But like I say, if he could get off his ass and pay that out, I could settle up these several accounts I got, maybe have enough money to act through this winter, maybe be able to save the cows and work something out. But I've only taken 1 cow so far. I'm starting to move them out. I mean, I got heifers that are going. I mean, there's 6 or 8 heifers that ain't bred that should be out of here. And I say that's Swiss there. She's supposed to be bred, and I don't think she is. There's another one in here. Got some in another barn that should be bred, and I don't think they are. But the 1 cow I took, a cow, Jersey cross anyhow. I mean, they ain't gonna be big money. But 1 cow and a week-old bull calf, and I didn't even get $300 for them. So that's another rant for another video about how they're working the beef systems and stuff in this country. People think they're getting American-grown beef and stuff. No, they're forcing the American beef growers out so they can import all this stuff from China. Or not China, but Argentina and Brazil and Mexico and all these other countries. And instead of supporting your local, I mean, every aspect of your life, they do not support the American infrastructure, industries, businesses, nothing. They are all for foreign countries and foreign worlds because they can get their kickbacks from them. And that's all that crap is. So like I say, I'm going to end this here. Like I said, this is why I held off making these videos, because I go on a rant like this. Maybe I ought to do a live sometime and go off on that. I've been hounded by a couple guys to go live since I can do them now. You know, maybe that's something to think about. But this is going to be a long one. I hope people watch it. So, but anyway, that's just the rant I've been on, and I actually did get through this without getting too pissed off and cussing and swearing and everything else. So I'm going to see if this old bitch will start. I didn't plug this in today. I mean, it's still in the low 30s. This ain't bad since it's been overhauled. It ain't ether addicted yet. It's never had ether since I rebuilt it. So, well, one reason is because the damn thing won't mist it. It only runs a stream in there. The damn thing don't work right. So I've kept the ether off of it, so it doesn't start too bad. But I'm going to finish this up. Like I said, this is going to be way too long. So thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody's concern. I'm trying to make more videos more often. Just some things I've been doing. I just don't need to hear why am I doing that or something at this time. So it's going to be what it's going to be. I'll mix feed, get them a bale of hay. They're kind of pissy looking, eating crap. So thanks for watching. I promise I'll be back. Unless my cell phone gets shut off because I can't afford to pay that bill and I lose my internet connection. But I think I'm good for this month yet. But who knows what next month will bring. Oh, well, quick. While I'm at this, since it ain't plugged in, why not do a cold start? People like them too. So we give it a boost of fuel there. And we'll see. Yeah, let's see it.